Today, we're going to build a Star Destroyer using 13 LEGO pieces.
These are all the pieces you are going to need. In the description of this video, I left the piece names, count, and design IDs.
We're going to start with this 2x3 plate piece with the rounded end and hole. And the next thing I'm going to do is grab two of these 3x2 wedge plates, both left and right. And what I want to do is I want to have it so that long thin end is in the center and the smaller flat end is on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the top right stud of my 2x3 plate so that it goes over that hole, and on the top left plate of that 2x3 plate. So now we've kind of covered up that hole in the front, but we're getting the shape of our Star Destroyer. And then in the back, I've still got two studs exposed. I'm gonna grab two 2x2 wedge plates and do the same thing but in reverse. So the back right stud, so it kind of slopes together near the center, and then the back left stud slopes towards the center. And here we've got the base of our Star Destroyer. And underneath, the reason I like this 2x3 plate is because that hole in there kind of looks like the docking bay that the Star Destroyer pulls in other ships, like the Tantive 4 with its tractor beam. So I really love that hole with this 2x3 plate as the base. But now let's start building up the top. And on the top, I'm gonna grab a 1x2 jumper plate. And that 1x2 jumper plate is gonna go on these second to back two studs right where the seam is of our wedge plates, and just put it right there. That's our 1x2 plate, and it's going to hold it, jumper plate, it's going to hold it together. And then in front of that jumper plate, I'm going to grab a 1x2 ingot piece, this little ingot piece, and just put that right in front of the 1x2 jumper plates. They take up the four center studs, and it's just kind of raising it up to the second level of the Star Destroyer, because it's not just flat and then up, you kind of got levels to it, and so that's creating those levels. And now, on the back two studs, I want to get rid of these studs. I don't like those studs sticking up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab two of these pie pieces, these quarter circle pieces, and just put them so that the flat ends go against the jumper plate and it rounds out near the end to kind of give the illusion of it coming to a point at the end of our Star Destroyer. Now, LEGO does have a half circle light bluish gray piece, but it's relatively new. It only came out like a year or two ago, so I don't have the couple sets that comes in light bluish gray, but I'm sure as years go on, you can just use one of those half circle pieces in the near future, because I'm sure they're going to use that piece a lot. But in the front, we still have two more studs exposed, and I really want this top to be flat, and so I'm going to get two more of those pie-shaped pieces and just put them on the same way I did the back, where the flat end goes against the ingot and it kind of curves near the end. And I'm going to do that 2 times. So now, the second layer of my Star Destroyer is flatter. And the reason I want this flat is I don't want those studs exposed. What I want to do is I got the center stud on the jumper plate. I'm going to grab a 1x1 round plate with open stud or hole in the stud there and just put it on top of my jumper plate like this. And that's going to raise it up a little bit so I can create the command tower, the command bridge where those shield generators are. And now this micro scale, those little bumps on the 1x2 plate are going to be like those balls that are the shield generator on a Star Destroyer. But when you have those bumps on the top, it kind of ruins that illusion. So that's why I made it nice and smooth, but also wanted to get some texture with that ingot piece. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 1x2 plate piece, and on the back there's that anti-stud right in the center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that anti-stud right into that hole of my 1x1 round plate like this to create the bridge of my Star Destroyer. But this is a slight modification to the one we found in the 2023 Advent calendar, and also the Super Star Destroyer set that came out the same year.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.